Welcome to our tutorial on using Postman to send API requests with path and query parameters. In this tutorial, we will cover how to specify path and query parameters using both URL box and the param tab. Query parameters are appended to the end of the request URL following the question mark and listed as a key value pairs separated by sign. For example, let's say we have a request URL like this: http://api example com/users. Now, if we want to filter users by their ID and type, we can simply add the parameters to the URL like this: http api example com/users ID equal 1 and type equal new. It's important to note that when you specify query parameters, you have two options. You can add them directly to the URL or use the param tab. The beauty of Postman is that regardless of where you enter your query parameters, these values will update everywhere they are used in Postman. Let's explore how to enter query parameters specifically using the params tab in Postman. Here is the params tab. You have fields to input your query parameters, key and value. It allows for a structured approach, especially when dealing with multiple parameters. You can simply fill in the key and value fields with the parameter's name and its corresponding value. As we add a parameter in the param tab, Postman automatically updates the URL in the request section above. And then any changes made to the parameters in the param tab will immediately reflect in the URL. Now let's move on to setting up the parameters in the Postman. Path parameters are essential for dynamically altering the endpoint of your API requests. To specify a path parameter, you simply enter the parameter name into the URL box after a colon. For example, if your endpoint is /users/column ID, the column ID is the path parameter representing the user's ID. When you enter a path parameter like this, Postman will automatically recognize it and populate it in the params tab. You can also edit the path parameter if needed. This allows for easy customization and flexibility in your API requests. Just like with query parameters, you can also add descriptions to your path parameters in Postman. These descriptions provide clarity and context, especially when sharing requests or viewing API documentation. By adding description to your parameters, you ensure that anyone who views your requests understands their purpose and usage. Once you're done entering your parameters, whether they are query parameters or path parameters, simply select Send to execute the request. And that's it. Thank you for joining me. Happy coding, and I will see you next time.